What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought it'd be fun to talk about the SEGA Game Gear. Now the SEGA Game Gear is what got me into gaming. I absolutely love the machine, there's a lot of nostalgia for me, but nowadays the modding scene is massive on it and it's really worth looking into. If you haven't had a Game Gear before, it might be worth sort of getting into it now because you can really modernise these consoles. And if you did have one back in the day like myself, modding it just brings it back to life. The difference is night and day. This is my Game Gear now, and I have done an awful lot to this machine. It is completely modified. Basically, all the best stuff that you can do on this, I've done all of it. I'm going to go through that today, just give you an overview of what I've done to the machine, what it looks like. I'll show you a couple of games running on it, and then I just want to talk about the console in general, my top 20 games in no particular order, some hidden gems to get you guys going on it as well, and why it's really worth picking up one of these in 2025. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Right, so here we are. This is the Game Gear in all of its glory. I've done loads of modifications to this, so I'm going to whiz through them now, give you guys an overview. I won't be doing any tutorials on how to fit any of these, because there's a bunch of things out there, but I will let you know which ones I could do myself with sort of minimal skills and which ones you may want to get someone else to look at. It's mainly some of the soldering ones on this one, to be honest, which are a little bit harder. But the majority of stuff you'll be surprised you'll be able to do yourself. So let's have a look at it then. So here we go. You've got the front of the Game Gear. Let me just make sure that it's zoomed, and the back. Eagle-eyed viewers will see that the case is a different colour. I didn't want to go for one of the loud, brightly coloured cases. Not my cup of tea, to be honest. I like things to look a little bit subtle. All of my consoles are black, so I went for a black clamshell. I've changed and replaced all of the buttons as well, just to make sure that it looks nice and fresh. We've got a new replacement screen on here as well. Obviously, the original screens nowadays, a lot of dust works their way in. You've got scratches from 30 odd years of gameplay, or just sitting in a drawer with toy cars and whatnot, which the majority of these do. Or sitting in people's attics and garages. They just get a bit manky, to be honest, so I thought I'd update that as well. One of the best mods that I'd recommend is the USB-C charging mod. Now, originally Game Gears had 6 AAA batteries. Now this one has got basically 2 sets of these iron lithium batteries. You get a lot more out of them. It's rechargeable as well. It just really modernises it, to be honest. Obviously the EverDrive in the back, so I've got my full library of games on there, including all the Master System ones as well. Which is really great because I don't have to change anything up then. Obviously new volume rocker and stuff as well. All those buttons are new. So let's talk about some of the bigger, better mods as well. So let me just turn this on a second so you get an indication of what it looked like. So the best mod for this really has got to be the screen. Now the screen is absolutely disgusting in the Game Gears. It's really washed out, and that's only exacerbated with Game Gears that have poor capacitors. The screen gets very dull and eventually doesn't work. You'd be pretty hard pressed to find a second-hand Game Gear that hasn't had the caps changed, and if it hasn't, there's bound to be issues. There's another mod that I did is changing all the capacitors. Now, the capacitors and the screen were the only 2 mods that I didn't do myself. Now I can do some soldering, but there are a lot of capacitors to change, and some of them are quite small, and I just do not have the tools in order to do all of the small ones myself. So, they're the ones I would say you couldn't do yourself, but the rest of them you can do, and that's the really great thing about it. So, changing the shell, the buttons, the membrane, the plastic screen on the front, the rechargeable battery mod, all of those you can do yourself really, really easily. The stereo speaker mod as well, again, very easy. The kit that it comes with is just brilliant. So super easy mods, you can do those all yourself with limited skills, just screwdriver skills, to be honest. There's no soldering involved in those. So let's have a little look at the screen, and I can go through the sound as well on this. But as you can see, the screen is super bright, super vibrant and modern. Let's have a look at Sonic. Everyone knows a Sonic. Just skip through all of these games. and we can get to one of those. But I honestly thoroughly recommend doing a lot of these mods. Now in terms of cost, at the time of recording this video, I did mine about 6 months to a year ago, and it probably cost me around £210 for every single mod. Now your mileage may differ, depends on what version of these upgrades you use or what company you buy them from, should I say, because some of them are more expensive than others, and of course if you're getting them from the States nowadays, or they're coming in from other places to the States, it's going to cost a lot of money with the issues with the tariffs at the moment, although I believe they have sorted themselves out. But anyway, let me just load this up and then I can give you an indication of what everything looks like and sounds like. Unfortunately, the version of the EverDrive that I've got is a little bit slow, but what you can hear now, I'll crank it up full for just a second. That is really loud, really, really clear, and now you have got full stereo sound, which it didn't have out the box, which is really great. I'm hoping that the camera does it justice, what this screen looks like. Now there are options on the screen as well where you can put scan lines on and do different, sort of slightly different aspect ratios, but I just want it on the sort of standard version that it comes with. Alright, let's just press start and get into this, and I'll just show you a quick bit of gameplay here. Let's turn this up a little bit. It's just awesome. It's really, really cool, and the Game Gear never looked like this, and it's just kind of, it's a dying shame really, because I think it would have done a lot better if it just looked great like this. Now obviously compared to the monochrome Game Boy of its time, it was well ahead of that anyway, but nowadays this really stands out. It just feels like it's been released now. Modern console with classic games, really, really fantastic. But there you go, let me just turn this down. It's absolutely awesome. I would thoroughly recommend it. I mean, you can see the viewing angles as well on the screen. Now this is just one of the cheaper sort of Chinese alternatives. A lot of people swear by the McWill screens, but they're quite expensive to come by, and there's so many different screens nowadays you can get from them, and all of them are pretty good. This is quite a generic Chinese copy, but it does have other options. I think the McWill ones, the only difference with those which isn't good is you can't use the brightness adjuster anymore. With the sort of Chinese made ones, this is a function as well, so in theory they're actually better, to be honest. It's just I'm unsure as to how long they will last for. But anyway, I digress. So there's the Game Gear. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get into some of my top games and some of the hidden gems and stuff that you can find on the Game Gear, and some of the history of the system as well.
Whoa. Color.
Hey, there's an easier way to get color. Get a Game Gear, the full color portable with over 150 games, like the new Echo, Mortal 2, and Sonic Triple Trouble. SEGA!
The Sega Game Gear launched in 1990 in Japan and 1991 worldwide as Sega's answer to the Game Boy. It was essentially a portable master system with a vibrant full-colour backlit screen, something that seemed revolutionary at the time. While the Game Boy screen was monochrome and relatively simple, the Game Gear aimed to bring home console-like experiences to your hands, with full-colour visuals and a landscape design that felt futuristic. Sega hoped the Game Gear would replicate the Mega Drive's success in the handheld market. But the Game Gear faced an uphill battle. The colour screen was impressive, but it came at a cost. 6 AA batteries that were drained in just 3 to 5 hours, while the Game Boy could last over 10 hours on 4. The Game Gear also came with a higher price tag and a somewhat bulky form factor. Still, Sega managed to move over 10 million units worldwide, which was a respectable number, but far from the Game Boy's 118 million. Despite the challenges, the Game Gear's library grew to include over 300 titles globally, including exclusives, portable takes on popular Genesis games, and some excellent ports of Master System hits. It was beloved by Sega fans and has earned cult status today, especially amongst modders and collectors. Now let's dive into the top 20 essential games for the Game Gear. These are the must-plays, the games that showcase what the system was capable of at its best. Whether you're new to the platform or rediscovering it, these titles are the crown jewels. The Game Gear version of Sonic the Hedgehog isn't just a downgraded Genesis port, it's its own unique platforming experience. Developed by Ancient and overseen by Yuzo Koshiro, this version introduces different level layouts, new hazards, and tight controls tailored for handheld play. It's shorter than its 16-bit counterpart, but it's brilliantly designed and delivers a genuine Sonic experience on the go. A true standout, Shinobi is a colourful and well-animated action platformer. It features non-linear level design and character swapping, similar to Mega Man or Castlevania 3. It's one of the most technically impressive titles on the system and shows how much depth a Game Gear title could have. Sonic 2 on the Game Gear ups the ante with new levels, a darker tone and more challenging platforming. It's infamous for its difficulty spike, particularly the hang glider sections and underwater levels. Despite that, it's still a top tier title that captures the spirit of Sonic whilst pushing the handheld's limits. Sonic Chaos was arguably the first Game Gear Sonic game designed from the ground up to be handheld. It introduced Tails as a playable character and brought in new power-ups like rocket shoes. It's faster, flashier and more forgiving than Sonic 2, making it ideal for newcomers. Taking everything great about the first game and redefining it, Shinobi 2 boasts more polished visuals, tighter controls and even better level design. It remains one of the best examples of action gameplay on the platform. While it's a port of the Genesis game, Ristar on the Game Gear simplifies the original's mechanics slightly but retains the charm, fluid animation and creative level design. It's a hidden gem that deserves more attention. Shining Force is one of the best strategy RPGs on a handheld. This is a sequel to the Game Gear's Japanese-only Shining Force Gaiden. It features grid-based battles, rich storytelling and a solid progression arc. The localization and gameplay hold up even today. Sega's answer to Tetris. Columns was a launch title and remained one of the most popular puzzle games on the system. Its relaxing music, match 3 gameplay and smooth presentation make it a go-to time killer. Defenders of Oasis is an Arabian Nights inspired RPG with gorgeous pixel art and traditional turn-based combat. It's a full-length RPG experience that doesn't feel watered down for handheld and offers surprising depth and lore. Tails Adventure is an action-adventure style platformer starring Tails. This title leans more into exploration and puzzle solving than speed. It's a slower paced, thoughtful experience that sets itself apart from the Sonic series. Land of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse is a charming and mechanically solid platformer. Featuring beautiful animations and a fair difficulty curve, this game showed that Disney titles could be just as engaging as core Sega franchises. The Game Gear version of Castle of Illusion closely follows the Master System version, but still looks and plays great on the smaller screen. It's whimsical, nostalgic and mechanically satisfying. Streets of Rage 2 is a condensed but solid port of the Genesis brawler. The animations are impressive, the music surprisingly holds up, and it supports multiplayer via a link cable, great for fans of the genre. A unique take on the Fantasy Zone series, this one plays like a Pac-Man style maze game. It's colourful, quirky, and adds a fun twist to the shoot 'em up series. Part Zelda, part side-scrolling brawler, Axe Battler blends action and exploration. While a bit clunky in parts, it's a unique experience that Golden Axe fans should check out. Psychic World is a sci-fi action platformer with great music and solid weapon switching mechanics. Originally a Master System game, the Game Gear version holds up well and offers a unique vibe. Arena Maze of Death is a gritty isometric shooter with detailed visuals and a cyberpunk theme. It's tough, stylish and surprisingly deep, one of the most mature feeling titles on the system. Mortal Kombat 2. Yes, Mortal Kombat on the Game Gear. It's stripped down but still surprisingly playable. With digitised characters, fatalities and decent controls for the hardware, it's worth checking out as a curiosity. A roguelike RPG before the genre was popularised. Dragon Crystal features randomly generated dungeons and permadeath. It's simple but addictive and great for short play sessions. Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap is a brilliant blend of platforming and light RPG mechanics. It's challenging, charming and features an upgrade system that rewards exploration. The Game Gear version is excellent. Beyond the classics, the Game Gear is home to plenty of overlooked titles. These hidden gems never got the attention they deserved, but they offer genuinely unique and enjoyable experiences. Crystal Warriors is a tactical RPG with rock, paper, scissors elemental gameplay. It's visually bright and fairly easy to pick up, with grid-based battles and anime-style aesthetics. CJ Elephant Fugitive, a colourful, silly platformer with surprisingly solid mechanics. You play as an elephant trying to escape the zoo, using various items and tricks to outwit your captors. Slider is a puzzle platformer where you control a penguin sliding through ice mazes. It's a relaxing and fun title with a unique concept and intuitive controls. Master of Darkness. Think Castlevania but on the Game Gear. It features gothic horror visuals, solid side-scrolling action and surprisingly deep enemy patterns and level variety. Galaga 91 is a solid take on the arcade classic, with power-ups and visual enhancements tailored for the handheld. It's addictive and well made. The Game Gear may not have won the handheld war of the 90s, but it carved out a unique space in gaming history. With vibrant visuals, excellent titles and an ever-growing modding community, it's never been a better time to jump into Sega's ambitious handheld. Whether you're revisiting classics like Sonic or Shinobi, exploring hidden titles like Crystal Warriors, or building your dream modded unit, the Game Gear remains an exciting part of retro gaming in 2025. If you've been on the fence about getting into Game Gear, let this be your sign. Dive in, mod it, play it, and let Sega's 8-bit handheld legacy live on. Right, that's it for the video today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had tons of fun making this one. It was a super nostalgic trip for me. Now, the Game Gear was my first console. It's what really got me into gaming, so revisiting some of these games was absolutely awesome, and building this machine back up as well was super satisfying because, you know, I've given this another 30 years life now. It's modernised. I can show it to my kid when he grows up as well. It's really, really cool. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. It'd be great to know from you guys what you're thinking of doing, whether you've got a modified Game Gear already or whether you're looking at doing any of these mods. Let us know in the comments down below what you're thinking of doing. I'm a small channel, so I can answer as many questions as you ask, so there's no issues there as well. And yeah, if you like the video, please drop a like down below. It really helps the channel growth. If you like the stuff that I'm doing as well and you've been watching a few of these videos, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, that helps me. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers now. I can't believe how successful it's been so far, so I'm really, really happy. And long may it continue. But anyway, I digress. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.